Hi, this is Wu Jiang. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to introduce a useful accessory for Cybertruck owners. It's the second version of the digital rearview mirror from Hanshow. I'll leave the product link in the description below, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. As you know, the Cybertruck comes with a standard mirror-style rearview mirror. However, since I almost always keep the tonneau cover closed, the rearview mirror was pretty much useless. So I ended up removing the stock mirror and installing a radar detector there. While you can view the rear camera view on the main screen, the view switches to the side camera feed when you use the turn signal, leaving you without a rear view at times. This was a bit inconvenient. Hanshow sent me their second generation digital rearview mirror, and compared to the first version, this one comes with a larger screen, improved resolution, and even a built-in dashcam feature that records both the front and rear camera views. Let's start by looking at what's inside the box. When you open the box, you'll find a manual, 2 primers to improve adhesion when attaching the cameras, a rear camera connection cable, a front camera, various wiring cables, a trim removal tool, rear camera hardware, and the digital rear view mirror itself. Looking at the mirror itself, you'll notice a USB-C port, camera connection terminal cables, and an SD card slot at the bottom. Overall, the quality and finish of the components seem pretty solid. Now, let's get started with the installation. First, we need to remove the existing mirror mount. Since I already removed the mirror to install the radar detector, I just need to loosen the hex bolt under the mount and take it off. Next, gently push the sun visor to the side. Carefully pull down the center gearbox trim. Be careful as there are cables connected inside, so don't pull too hard. The plastic cover at the front can also be easily removed by pulling it downward. After that, you'll need to connect the power cable to the power box located under the glove box. Carefully remove the plastic trims in this area. Using the provided trim removal tool will make this process easier. Most of the trims are held in place with plastic clips, so gently pull upward or sideways to detach them. Under the glove box, you'll see several cable plugs. Carefully disconnect the light blue plug at the end. Then, connect one side of the provided power adapter to this plug and the other side to the blue plug you just removed, ensuring it clicks securely into place. There's another white plug. Press the clip and carefully disconnect it, then connect it to the adapter in the same way. This cable will supply power to the rearview mirror. Connect the black connector to the power adapter you just installed, and then route the cable neatly inside the A-pillar trim to keep it hidden. Pull the rubber gasket on the door slightly to create a gap, and thread the cable through it. There's enough space, but make sure to carefully avoid interfering with the airbags. Before completely hiding the cables, connect them to the rearview mirror and test to ensure it powers on correctly. Once the test is complete, route the cable neatly through the headliner trim toward the center. I mounted the front camera securely at the center of the windshield, connected the USB cable to the mount, and attached it to the rearview mirror cable. I also connected the rear camera cable to the mirror in advance. It's time to install the rearview mirror. This part took a bit longer than expected. because the cables are relatively thick and there's a GPS sensor inside that you need to avoid covering. Carefully organize the cables and close the cover. Secure the trim back in place and use a hex wrench to tighten the bolts you loosened earlier. Next, close the upper gear cover. One cable from the rear view mirror goes to the rear camera, while the other connects to the power source. Since the space is tighter than expected, make sure to organize the cables carefully to avoid interfering with the clip positions. Once everything is aligned properly, tuck the remaining cables inside the trim for a clean finish. Now, let's route the rear camera cable toward the trunk. There's another rubber sealing, weather strip, above the door sealing that you can use to neatly route the cable toward the back seats. From there, thread the cable up to the trunk area. I decided to install the rear camera above the truck bed, right below the roof, so I removed the trim screws in that area using a hex wrench. Be careful not to drop the screws inside the trim. I recommend covering the gap with a towel. I roughly measured the camera's central position using a ruler and inserted the cable inside the glass area. After tidying up the excess cable with tape, I tucked it into the available space nearby. I cleaned the mounting area with alcohol and attached the camera securely. While some of the cable remains slightly exposed, those who prefer a cleaner look can drill a hole in the trim to fully hide the cable. I plan to use a 3D printer later to create a cover for a more polished finish. I also organized the cable extending downward by attaching it under the trim piece with duct tape to prevent interference with the trunk cover. Finally, I tightened the trim bolts and restored the trims and rubber pads around the front seats to their original state. Both the interior and exterior now have cables almost completely hidden, making the setup look neat and tidy. The next day, I checked all the functions to ensure everything was working properly. The rear camera features a Sony 5-megapixel lens with an impressively wide 105-degree field of view. The screen is 11.26 inches with 2K high resolution, and you can adjust the vertical viewing angle with touch controls. In the settings menu, you can configure Wi-Fi connection, screen settings, audio recording, sound options, language, date, and time. In the video settings, you can adjust recording resolution, brightness, recording length, and more. On the main screen, you can tap the playback icon to view recorded video files. Both front and rear camera footage are stored neatly in a list format. While Tesla's stock rear camera doesn't show the inside of the trunk, this product allows you to see the trunk area thanks to its camera placement. The wider field of view makes it much more practical. For those who frequently carry large cargo, being able to monitor the load in real time while driving is a huge advantage. Although this was my first time disassembling the Cybertruck's trims, the installation process wasn't overly difficult. It just took a bit of time. After using the mirror for a few days, I'm really satisfied with its sharp display, especially how clear it is even at night without any noise. Tesla has its own dashcam functionality, but using this product as a backup is also a great option. I'll leave the product link and discount code in the description below, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. I'll be sharing more useful Tesla accessories in the next videos, so don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!